Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
First down and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Tevin Coleman with some running room. Tevin Coleman down the sideline. Coleman, one man to beat. Tevin Coleman's going to go 90 yards, and Indiana takes the lead. Randall L. scrambles, started off the pitch, keeps it himself down the sidelines. He could go. Antoine Randall L. touchdown. Rory going to the single coverage, end zone. Touchdown! He hits Cooper again.
Welcome to episode 271 of the Hoosier Hoosier Happy Hour podcast. We're here to talk about the sixth game of the season at number 3 Oregon, and with me to do so is my buddy, my pal, my hangover friend. I don't know how else to call you this. It's Brandon. It's everybody.
Hey,
Brandon, what's up?
We survived the weekend. We're a little bit more Michigan than we were before.
Yes.
And ready for this massive game.
Yes. And, these bye weeks that are supposed to, they're almost placed, right, for like the team to have a rest week, for the fans to have a rest week. As you can hear, the voice, I don't think the voice is ever going to be back until Christmas, Valentine's Day.
No,
April,
because we'll be
probably. But then we'll be yelling and screaming March Madness stuff, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's ever coming back all the way. Oh, and look at this. To everybody's surprise.
Chagrin, I was going to say.
Yes, chagrin. Seth, welcome
Let's go, Ducks. Let's go, Ducks.
Oh, my God.
I'm kidding.
On the day of the Cubbies surviving, you're going to come in hot with a Let's Go Ducks chant. All right. Seth, we were describing how my voice is never going to recover because the bye weeks are filled with more drinking activities than what should be done. We
did not take a bye week. We did not take a bye week.
We did not. That was far from a bye week. We put the over-under, I think I'll set the over-under at Valentine's Day before it's back.
Take the over.
Well, you got nothing to yell about during basketball season, so it'll.
Well, that's what I kind of said. I kind of said we have March Madness to yell about.
At the TV.
But then you jumped in. Yes, you jumped in, and I was going to say not for us, but like exciting buzzer beaters and stuff.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so since Seth ruined the whole vibe, let's hop right in.
You did spoil what we're talking about. Nobody was going to know.
No, I said it at the beginning.
Oh, you said it at the beginning.
I did say it at the beginning. You just weren't.
I listened to you. Yeah.
Game 6. It's at number 3 Oregon. Oregon coming in 5-0, which is why they're number 3. 2-0 in conference. Also coming off a bye, the same bye week as the Hoosiers. It's going to take place this Saturday, October 11th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Lord's time zone, which is what, 11:30 Oregon time?
12:30.
Is that right?
12:30.
Is it 12:30? 12:30.
Yes.
Weather this morning when I made the outline doesn't look great. 59 degrees as a high, 69%.
Early
nice.
Brando's
Thank you.
Early Brando's Randos. Who does that benefit?
I don't know. I really don't. I think it benefits us. I think it benefits us. We'll talk about why.
It benefits the better rushing team.
Yes.
And it hurts the worst rushing team. We are the better run team. They are the worst rushing defense team. So I don't know. I want it to rain.
They're not that bad. So let's pump the brakes on that one. Well, it's like when we get down to the team rankings, it's so crazy how similar these teams are. It's ridiculous. Autzen State, where was that? 59 degrees, rain, possible, probable. Autzen Stadium, Eugene, Oregon. It's on CBS for those not attending, us being those people. IU at time of outline at +7.5. over under 55.5. ESPN giving us a big time shot, a 30.5% chance of winning. The first time IU has been not favorite, and ESPN has put us under 50% of winning.
Plus
the game.
250 money line.
Yeah,
in case
it's a hot
those were
money
wondering.
line. That is a hot money line.
I
Series
actually feel
notes.
like it's low for plus 7.5, but I was
That's 'cause
hoping
the
for
line's not
4 to
right.
1.
The line's not right. Series notes. This is the fourth matchup. Currently, IU has 1 win. Oregon 2 wins. The previous matchup was all the way back in 2004 where IU won. And we've talked about this game to nauseum during the summer schedule preview. IU won 30-24 without having any actual offensive stats outside of, I can't remember the running back, but he had 90 yards rushing. And they turned the Ducks over 7 times, which is ridiculous. Also had a kickoff return. That's how you make upsets happen. IU's largest margin of victory, see above, same 6 points. And fun fact, IU, even though with 2 losses, one being at home and one being away to the Ducks, is undefeated in Eugene. That's because the one away loss came in Portland in 1963, not in Eugene, Oregon. What else do you guys want to talk about there before we go and break down Oregon? We'll talk their schedule real quick. We'll talk offense. We'll talk defense. What do you
I
guys
feel like
want
this is a
before we do
Seth
that?
question, but if you know this, Bragg, I would be impressed. Autzen Stadium holds how many people?
Ooh, I do know this.
58,000.
52,000. You
I
don't
didn't
have it
know.
in front of you?
Oh, he's
my
Googling.
God.
Okay.
Okay.
54 in the middle.
54.
In the middle. 54. That's
I
a
win
small
because he
stadium.
said, didn't he say 56? I win. I win again. It is a small stadium, but it's very loud because of the way that they do this. Really in like the
I'm looking at
northwestern part of
pictures.
yeah.
It's not wonderful.
Not big, but that big canopy, it's on both sides of the stadium, right?
Yeah. Like a
That's what-
Seattle canopy.
It holds a lot of sound into that bowl. So it's a very intimidating stadium. I'm assuming you have a fact that you shared with us in the group chat that you're saving for later
We can do it now.
about that state. Okay, go ahead.
Oregon is 41-1 in its last 42. So last 5 years of home games. Who is their only loss to?
Their only loss.
Yes.
And
then if you can't get it, I will give a hint that will 100% give it away.
it has to be a Pac-10 team.
That's what I was thinking. Pac-12.
Pac-0.
USC.
Pac-Slovid.
I was going to say USC or UCLA.
They went again to lose again to them again in the Pac-12 championship. Same season.
Stanford.
They lost to him twice.
Oh my gosh, is it Stanford?
It is not. You guys are just wrong. I'm disappointed because I put this.
No, I didn't guess. I didn't guess.
Oh,
Multiple group chats. You're the only ones not to get it. And,
Hold on.
And that's
Let me get a guess.
The
last 5 years, Washington.
Yes, Penix went into Autzen and put on a show, and then they had that amazing shootout in the Pac-12 championship, which Penix beat Bo Nix again. Won a lot of money on that Penix game. I didn't bet in Autzen, but I bet on the Pac-12 championship.
Yeah,
because everyone's like, Oregon can't do, or Washington can't do it again. You know how hard it is to beat a team twice. Blah 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 blah. And no, Penix just went ahead and did it again.
That's what he does.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Let's move on. All right, let's talk Oregon's schedule to this point. I guess you could say it's soft now that it's turned out the way that it has.
That's
Montana
why you wait
State,
to play the games to have these conversations.
Yes, you do. Montana State at home, they rolled them 59-13. Oklahoma State, awful. They rolled them 69-3.
They're the Purdue of this year, right? Like they are
Oklahoma
the worst power. They are the worst Power 4.
Yes. Purdue or Stanford of this season. Yes. At Northwestern, Closer than we thought for a little bit. 34-14 final
They
score, but
lost
they
me
rolled
so
them.
much money. It was the
Yeah.
only leg to lose.
That was that last second touchdown, right? Like worthless touchdown by.
Yeah, so
I
the
can't
line
remember
was
what it
26.5. I think I
Mhm.
even bought it down to 25.5. And then, yeah, they just let them like run right down their throats with like a
Yes.
minute to go.
Yes. Oregon State at home, a win, 41-7. Also a really bad black and orange team. And then, speaking of bad, they went to Penn State during the whiteout, winning 30-24 in 2 overtimes. And then Penn State moseys on over to LA and gets whooped by Nico and his 0-4 Bruins the following week. Now, while they were doing that, both of these teams were on a bye. Looking ahead to their schedule, no ranked teams remaining currently outside of Indiana. So I guess they've got kind of a cakewalk schedule. If the season plays out the way it's gone so far, which it won't, outside of this game, they've got a very low-end Big Ten schedule. Anything you guys want to talk about their schedule-wise? Any of those games that jumped out to you? That is pretty
I mean, it's
easy.
the old, it's why we play the games. Because you're right. I mean, if you go into this before the season and you're like, they're playing Oklahoma, they're playing 2 non-conference games to it.
Mhm.
Old Dominion is better than Oklahoma State and Oregon State by a mile. And
Tell them who else they're better by.
Kennesaw State probably they'd only be favored by 10, 14 against Oklahoma State. Like Kennesaw State isn't too far away from Oklahoma State and Oregon State. So just the preseason BS about schedules just needs to end.
If I remember right, and I don't want to go back and pull it up, I can if Seth wants to talk for a minute. I'm pretty sure that I had Oregon around like 3 to 5 losses preseason. Like looking at that, I was like, pretty sure. I think one of you two agreed with me that they're going to lose either the Oklahoma State or Oregon State game. That the Penn State game was going to be tough. Ohio or USC, and I'm pretty sure I picked Washington to beat them at the end of the season.
So I had them as 10-2, but I could have been convinced to 9-3. I think again we can go back and look at this, but I'm pretty confident I had the Penn State as a loss, and then I coin flipped USC Washington, and said those are 2 50-50 games. I'll just split it and say 10-2.
Yeah, I'll go back and look. Seth, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, the schedule is absolute
ass.
Yeah.
ass.
It is as easy of a Big Ten schedule as you can get, just without Purdue on it, right? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick.
No, you're right. I mean, that's what I had. I remember looking at the schedule and I go, "Oh my God, they're 11-1." Like just rolling it out there. And again, that was even when I thought Oregon State and Oklahoma State were somewhat of a functioning football squad. You could put those two teams together, and I don't think they could beat Oregon right now.
Okay, so I had them at 10-2. I'm sorry, 10-2 with losses at Penn State and at Washington. So I apologize about that.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
I just think that this is a team that hasn't. And then what they did to Penn State, you said that then the Penn State moseyed over to LA and lost. I think what Oregon did, and I said this to you in the text, is I think they exposed Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
I think they exposed James Franklin. Because what UCLA did was they took a coordinator who had never coordinated a game before, too, actually, and said, well, we don't have the athletes Oregon has, but we can at least scheme it up that way. And then let's let Nico sprinkle a little bit of magic on it. And all of a sudden, Penn State's, turtle on its back.
That was so fun watching with you guys.
Oh, my goodness.
Seth, you want to say what you did? You want to go ahead and brag a little bit?
Oh, I bet UCLA money line early in the first quarter.
I thought it was closer to halftime. I thought it was second quarter, but it doesn't matter. You got it because I think it started as plus 400 and you got plus 250.
No, I got it plus 470.
So it didn't start at plus 400.
No, it was higher than that to start.
Plus 470. Yeah. What a hit, son.
They were like
what
30
a hit.
something point favorites, weren't they, or something? Maybe 40 something point favorites.
I don't think it was 40, but it was and you could tell pretty early in that game that UCLA had figured something out, and Penn State was clueless on how to stop it, how to change the narrative.
Neuheisel.
Oh,
Neuheisel had
they got
Franklin in the
Neuheisel.
blender.
Baby Neuheisel.
Yeah,
It
and this
carried
is
off
the guy.
field.
And again, Penn State has the highest paid defensive coordinator in all of college football. The number one,
Like the best, right? The
allegedly.
best. The
They stole him
guy.
away from Ohio State after Ohio State
Yeah.
stole him away from Oklahoma State.
And let's paint the scene for the listeners. We were on day 3 of a bender on a guy's trip. Vibes were high, energy was low. Is that an accurate?
My energy was great. I had great energy the whole time. I was good.
I ran out of
How
steam.
about
after the
10:30? Then I was
sportsbook.
done.
Yeah, you crashed hard. I more coasted. I knew I tried to like get going in the sports book, and I knew the engines, so I set it in cruise control and just coasted Saturday.
Just to be clear for everybody, I tried to crash at about 11:15,
Yes,
but there was a lot of screaming from somebody on this podcast coming from the basement, and it then burst into my
I
room.
needed it so bad. I got my
You
teeth.
Whoa.
No. You needed the wind so bad.
Oh,
there was
wind,
nothing
okay.
else that happened. Nothing else that happened. Dude, it was crazy. So just to be clear, I'm gonna tell everybody the story. So I had a room in this big house. There's a room that I think is probably designed to be an office off of the living room that had 2 French doors that had ball and socket locks like at the top, right? They're just
And had
You
a
just
separate
push the door
entry
open.
connected to a bathroom that had
Well, I was gonna get
also
there.
a
Hold on.
secondary access to.
I was gonna get there. So I heard Brandon running upstairs, and I hear a shake at those 2 doors, the 2 glass French doors.
Hold
He
on, I
can't
think he
figure
broke
out-
into my room first. I don't know.
Correct. Yes. Yes, I did.
I almost sent you a text to warn you, like,
Oh my
careful.
God. So he can't figure out. This is how drunk Brandon is. Can't figure out how to push the doors. Just push the doors in.
Nope.
Right?
Couldn't figure it out.
I heard him go, "Ugh," or whatever. Like, I can't figure it out. So he, instead of just leaving it, he runs around the living room over to the entry bathroom that's connected to my room, runs through that door, through the bathroom, through my door, and to scream at me. Pretty sure you grabbed my shoulders and shook me a couple of times.
I did.
It was incredible. I'm not even upset about it.
Plus 800 parlay, which saved me. Absolutely saved. Actually made money gambling weekend because of that. But I feel like a plus 800 parlay needs to be celebrated, and I did so accordingly. Maybe not to all of them. Okay. Anyway. Want to get to
All
the
right.
stats? Want to get to the stats?
Yeah, let's get to the
Or,
stats. I
yeah.
forgot even where we were. We've spent 17 minutes just rambling. All right, let's get to the stats. So this is kind of where we go for those that are joining us. We do kind of some key offensive rankings nationally, compare them to IU. This is crazy how similar these 2 teams are. Total offense for Oregon, they're 9th. IU 5th. Total scoring offense for Oregon 6th, IU 4th. Both of them average 47 and 48 points respectively. Rushing offense 11th for Oregon, 5th for IU. Passing offense 39th, IU 36th. So IU beats them in quotes in every category, right? Now, granted, you would say on paper or whatever, based on the athletes on the field, they played a tougher schedule, but we just went over their schedule. I think these are 2 identical offenses. Now, the way that they run is different, but identical stat-wise offenses. Do you guys want to get straight into the players and then talk about what you guys think about it from there?
Yeah, let's
No.
talk about- Oh, no. Okay.
No.
No, I want to go in the stats. I
Okay.
would like to talk a little bit about the stats. Is there anything from you guys that surprised you?
Passing.
Based on the hype around the quarterback, I'd say the passing, but ours is the same thing.
I
People are
would
saying
have
the same thing
thought-
about our quarterback.
I would have thought the passing and rushing, the scoring makes sense.
Mhm.
The yards per game makes sense. all I've heard is Dante Moore and this freshman monster and the number 1 overall tight end.
Mhm.
If you go on mock boards. So I would have thought they would have been a top 10 passing offense. And then I don't know a single one of these running backs. I've seen them.
Ooh.
I've seen them with my eyes, but like their leading rusher has run the ball 26 times.
There's
Like-
too many of them. That's the problem. There's 4
Like,
of them.
so again, very, very good offense. Again, top 10 in yards, 6th in scoring, really good offense. Who they played up again. I think IU schedule is not bad. It's not good. It's an average schedule. I think Oregon's played an average schedule. But I would have thought their passing, given the wide receiver, tight end, QB combo, over the rush offense. So that was surprising to me. But Bragg, I do agree with you. Very, very good offense.
Yeah. Real quick, Seth. I lost what I was going to say. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying I thought their passing was higher than I expected, not because they don't have the talent. It's just because I think when we did the preview, I mentioned the stable of running backs because Oregon always has a stable of backs. And I just thought with a young quarterback, especially a mobile young quarterback, they would lean on that running game over and over and over again, and especially include Dante Moore in a lot of that running game. And what's really kind of surprised me is definitely the running game has been effective. I mean, they're top 5, top 11. But to have a true balance, I mean, they're 239 rushing, 264 passing. I mean, that is
6.3 yards a carry.
That is exactly where you want to be from a balance standpoint. I thought this would be a run heavy offense. Not because of lack of talent, like Brandon said. These are very much accomplished pass catchers and have very much a professional pedigree to them. But the guys in their running back field, I always expect them to lean a little bit heavier on that.
Did you look into the individual players at all?
Which ones? The running backs? Or
the running backs. Should we just wait till we get to it?
I was gonna
we
wait.
can wait till we
one
get
at
to
a
it.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with Dante.
All right. So we'll go to Dante Moore, the transfer quarterback from UCLA 2 years ago. Sat and watched Dylan Gabriel, the 95-year-old quarterback, play last year, and then he came in and hit the ground running this year. 75% completion percentage, just over 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he can run. So that's
and
it.
the one thing
everybody knows Dante Moore.
Yeah, and the one thing you're leaving out is that we talk about Fernando Mendoza all the time. This is the Heisman frontrunner.
I mean,
nope, don't. I know where you're at. I know how you feel.
Penn State. Oh,
he's the Heisman
Okay.
frontrunner. That's what the betting services are saying. That's what the reporters are saying. So
that's what they're saying. Everyone's saying it.
Everyone's
saying it.
You sound very familiar there, Seth.
I'm just repeating the things that I am told.
I think you may have picked up a thing or two while you were up in
You
Michigan.
may have on this weekend. Some of those guys we were hanging out with. Do you want to talk any Dante Moore, Brandon, or do you want to talk these running backs so you guys can start fighting about it?
Yeah. So I have a few things I want to talk about. And mostly it is how absolute of a menace he is in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Guys want to guess what his QB rating is in the red zone?
Maxed
130.
So not QBR, quarterback
sorry.
rating. Sorry.
Oh, so 80,
96.
90, yeah, low 90s.
97.7.
Ooh.
He has thrown 8 touchdowns. He is completing 72 yards or 72% of passes. He is just an absolute freak. I think you're gonna talk about that down in another bullet point. But I had to do research on this. And do you want to know where he, I guess, is technically the worst? Not that he's the Heisman frontrunner, but where he is the worst on the field.
Midfield.
No. This is actually good. In my opinion, this helps.
Drive starting.
Own 20 to 40 His own 20 to 40. He is only a 71. So,
which is still above average.
yes, it is still fair. Again, he's a 97.7 in the red zone from yard 1 to 20 on the opponent's side. It has to be one of the best of all time. I don't know this stat because I'm just you can look at it by yourself on ESPN. That's where I'm getting all these stats, is just in the splits category. But yeah, it is obnoxious. He has not thrown an incompletion on first and goal. He has not thrown he's thrown one incompletion on second and goal.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this guy's good. This guy.
I don't know if this is one of the things we were going to talk about. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just did a bad thing. I was looking up Fernando's splits, and he's played Oregon once, and it wasn't good.
It's not good. It's real bad.
No.
He did outplay Dante Moore the year they played
UCLA.
He did outplay
UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
He did outplay him pretty significantly. But
good, but I mean, we gotta base that off of that terrible offensive line he was behind and lack of superstars.
So I guess my last point on Dante Moore, he is as advertised. I mean, I tried. Again, we host an IU podcast. I wanted to find a chink in the armor. And other than if we can get him to go 3 and out, that's kind of our best bet. Like you need to stop him before he gets going, right? Before he gets in a rhythm on a drive. And if he gets to the red zone, it's likely 7.
He's a guy who seems to grow in confidence as the game goes on as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk their backs. So you guys have heard of a running back by committee, right? That's what, usually 2.
Sure.
Maybe you'll get 3. How about 4? You got Noah Winnington. Is it Dier? Is that right? Dier Hill. Jaden Limer.
Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar. There you go. And Jordan Davison. I was just waiting on you to do it. Jordan Davison, 7 touchdowns, leading the team with 7 touchdowns on the ground. Hill is the leader in yardage, but it's so spread out in carries. And like Dante Moore is 100, I think it's 122 yards rushing, and he is like the 5th or 6th highest rusher on the team. And Davison is a monster. Like 6, he's like the big bruiser, right? Is that right, Seth?
He has to.
Yeah, he's the red zone.
250.
Yep.
Yeah.
A third of his carries are touchdowns.
Yep.
Yeah. And they've combined for 14 touchdowns total. So beyond with the other 3, you get another 7. You guys know more about them than I do. So let's break them down.
Their leader, Dier Hill, he's averaging over 10 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
Noah Whittington is closer to 9 yards than he is 8. And then again, Davison is, if you look at their third down efficiencies, you start understanding why, because Davison gets first downs and Dante Moore doesn't get off the field. So again, we've talked a lot efficiency. We talked it in the Illinois game. We talked it in the Iowa game, how we have to be more efficient than them. And in Iowa, we weren't, and we struggled. In Illinois, we were, and we whooped ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's at least hard for me on Wednesday, October 8th, for me to figure out how to be more efficient than them, because on paper, this has to be the most efficient team we've covered in the 7 years we've done this.
Mm-hmm.
This team on paper, on an efficiency, passing and rushing, is impressive.
So these backs are not necessarily NFL backs, but they remind me a lot of an NFL stable in that all of these running backs have a very specific purpose. Now I'm trying to think through some of the old Oregon running backs coming off mind, like Jonathan Stewart was a really good running back. They had LeGarrette Blount was another Oregon guy. And these are guys on different teams. They have all of these guys in the same backfield. And Jordan Davison is a guy who reminds me a lot from a body standpoint of a LeGarrette Blount. Would you say 6'3", 250?
Six foot 250.
6 foot 250. Yeah.
I don't think he's a big giant tall guy, but he's just a bowling
But a
ball.
big bruising back, a very much of a goal line short yardage guy. And then kind of the Noah Whittington is kind of like the Jonathan Stewart back, who's kind of an all-purpose back. He'll run it between the tackles, he'll run it outside, he'll catch some passes out of the backfield. Deer Hill is kind of a home run hitter. Jaden Lamar does a little bit of everything. So these guys, again, may not be first, second, even third day draft picks, but you have to kind of think of them in the same way you look at the Colts backfield, you look at the Bears backfield, in that when a specific guy comes in, they have a job to do. And they have
only have one backfield or one player that does all of our stuff. But
the Colts are a tough one because Jonathan Taylor does everything. But yeah, that's kind of the situation. Is they're all gadget players who have a specific set of skills, and then they rotate and revolve their offense around those skill sets. And I'm sure we're going to talk about this, and you've already led into it about the red zone efficiency. Again, with Dante Moore, good decision making, big running backs, getting those short yardage. And then they've had a hell of a great play calling inside the red zone as well, where I don't know who's the play caller. I probably should look this up. I assume Dan Lanning is very heavily involved.
Dan Lanning's a defense coordinator.
Oh, shoot. That's right. That's right.
He gives the complete reins to the offensive coordinator, who I'm blanking on, but he's always up there for Broyles award winner, best. He's young. He's on the younger side. He actually has kind of like a baby face. But he has full reign to the offense.
And his creativity in
Will
the red
Stein.
zone. Yes.
Will Stein. Yeah.
His creativity in the red zone is exactly where his calling card seems to be. He runs a lot of that kind of Philly specials and those kinds of things, all of those little gadget plays, because they have the guys to pull off those types of plays.
I'd say more Detroit, more the Ben Johnson.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Bears, you mean? The Bears?
Chicago.
Yeah. The Bears.
I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't call it. We haven't seen it from the Bears yet.
When he was
know.
good.
I
When
know.
Ben Johnson was
2024.
good,
But honestly, I mean, so you weren't, I wouldn't say Philly, but you will see, I wouldn't even necessarily call them trick plays. They just attack you from all over.
Yes.
They'll attack you horizontally. They'll attack you vertically. They'll attack you from multiple angles. They're not 3 yards and cloud of dust.
They're sideways for 3 yards, backwards to forwards for 4.
There's
everything.
There's so much movement. I mean, again, it's kind of poetry. I hate how much I'm talking these guys up. I promise for you IU listeners, I do have ways to beat them. But yeah, I mean, at least the way Will Stein calls a game is very similar to Ben Johnson, and how he called Lions offenses the last few years.
Yeah. Speaking of Ben Johnson and the Lions, they had good receivers, right? And so does Oregon.
Can I talk one more thing on the running backs?
Oh my God!
Jesus, if there is a way that they don't pass, they are not active out of the backfield. So I guess that kind of ruined my Jahmyr Gibbs, Ben Johnson thing. But Demir Hill is the leading pass catcher with only 7.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 in 5 games. Pretty much running backs are irrelevant, which you can scheme around, right? That way you can either have a spy on Dante Moore, or you can put a linebacker on a tight end. You don't have to worry about the running backs chipping and going out on the right, going out on a screen. You can kind of, again, have a little bit more of Brian Haynes can direct a lot more of attention on other offensive players in the pass game, because you do not have to worry about Oregon pass or running backs catching the ball. So I do think that helps Brian Haynes and company scheme a little bit against this offense. Okay.
Yeah, we practice against it every day because Hemby has 5 catches on the season. So it's not like we're any better at that necessarily. All right, over to the running backs or over the quarterback or whatever, dude. Wide receivers, you guys, you throw me off so bad. So they're led by 5-star freshman DeCorian Moore. He leads the team in receptions and yards. But man, they're so deep. Malik Benson, Gary Bryant, Jeremiah McClellan, the tight end that you brought up, Kenyon Sadiq, is probably going to be a problem. He is third on the team in receptions, averages 13 yards a reception, 3 touchdowns on the season. There you go. You guys do your thing. Tell us about their wide receivers, and let's not spend 30 minutes on it.
Go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, Jacorian Moore is the real deal. He is absolutely, he's a little, for my likings, is a little undersized. He's 5'11", about $185. But he absolutely has the prototypical pro prospect kind of hype around him. He was a 5-star.
Kind of a Devonta Smith a little bit.
Out of
Yeah.
Duncanville, Texas, which is a huge program, basketball and football wise. They're pumping out college athletes all over the place. Deville, so he had really good high school competition. And so when he came in as a true freshman, there was every expectation that he immediately slots in as the wide receiver 1 for this team. And he has lived up to every expectation they had for him. And he has some nice complementary pieces. Those are fine. Don't get me wrong. They're going to get catches. They're going to get targets. But between him and his potential for the next 2.5 years, and this guy Kenyon Sadiq, who's much more of an NFL ready player pretty much right now, could be TE1 on the draft board, maybe TE2 or 3 on some of the lower end prospects. But those are two guys, and they attack different ways. Jacorian Moore can run all of the routes, sideways, horizontal, sweeps, reverses, all of those things. He can be involved in every way, aspect, and shape. What Sadiq does is a little bit different in that he has some explosive ability to vertical, horizontal. He's a little bit more of a versatile tight end.
Seam, up the seam.
Again, and you really have to watch.
Think about how Laporta plays. Think about like a chip and a stream, a chip and then a go. It can flare out and an out. I do think Sadiq is tight end 1.
Inside wheels, stuff like that. Yeah, it's creative route running.
Yep,
that's it.
Yeah, and again, if we want to think about ways to beat these guys, none of them are big.
No,
none of them are big. Sadiq's big. He's 6'3". They don't have a receiver over 6 foot. So I want, again, I hope we play a little bit more man and we rough these guys up, because I think we can play a physical brand of football. I think Jamari Sharp and Pons, if we get up in these guys, right? If we make them uncomfortable, if we throw off their timing, I think that's going to be so important. Again, talking about ways to beat these guys. Don't let drives get started and throw them off. I think we are going to have to be physical with these wide receivers. And I think we can be. I think we got the personnel. I think we can just keep rolling out corners. I'd want to just keep rolling out corners, because my fear, to what Seth said, is these guys are super athletic. Honestly, all 4 of them can run any route.
Yep.
They will zone beat us to hell, because they can play pretty much anywhere on the field and get to anywhere on the field. But I think their size, and again, this is just a cliche, their West Coast physicality, I think that's an advantage for Indiana if we play that way. Big if. What do you guys think?
The difference with Oregon is you can't just stop the receivers by covering their routes. They will get the receivers balls in quick game, in the reverse game. So there's a good chance that if you put Pons and Sharp and they have the best games of their lives, Moore can still have 8 touches. So they will still get these guys involved, even if it's not catching, any balls deeper than 5 yards downfield.
That's how we win, though.
Right.
I think if we
make
that,
I would take that.
That's a good thing for IU, right? Yes.
Yeah. It's again. So we'll get to this. But I'll just say it now. I think if IU limits the explosive plays, that's how Indiana wins.
Of course.
Right. I think, again, if you don't let De'Aaron Hill bust a 40-yard run, if you don't let Moore have a 60-yard pass, I mean, all these things seem obvious, but that's how Oregon wants to play. They want to go screen, shot, or shot, out, curl, shot, right? Like, that's how they want to play. They want to lure you. Like, again, think about it like a boxer almost, right? That's how they play offense. They want to body, head. That's how they want to play. Take all the body shots. Honestly, take all the body shots, and there are going to be plenty. Just can't give up the big play. Can't give the 3-play drive over 75 yards.
Yeah.
You just can't. And again, I think if we're physical with the wide receivers, if we throw them off their routes, that is how, like Bragg said, if we're okay with them going, okay, well, Moore's not getting his catches, let's have him run a 4-yard slant. Okay. Yeah. Let him have 4 yards and 4 yards yak, 8-yard catch. You live with that. You live with that because that's what an NFL wide receiver does.
Yeah. He's a freshman. Now, granted, I haven't seen him play, but from everything I've read, the tape that I've seen, he's crazy.
He's a freak.
Speaking of freaks, and we're not going to spend too much time here. Number 1 in the country in red zone efficiency, 1 sack allowed. That's their offensive line. There you go.
We've seen a better offensive line. We have seen a better offensive line, and we put a lot of pressure through that offensive line. Yep.
That's going to be a main thing. I'm sure it'll come up a little bit later, but you want to talk about trying to slow down the receivers. I think it starts maybe trying to get in the backfield.
Yes.
So,
yes.
All right. Is that
Which
it?
I would say we did that successfully. We held Iowa to less than 4 yards a carry, and we got to Gronowski. Right. The only way Gronowski was having any success was 4 to 6 yard zone beaters.
Yep.
Because he had to get rid of the ball quick. So again, we'll get this in players to watch, but yeah, I think their offensive line maybe isn't all cracked it up to be.
Yeah.
I think that's their weakness. Not that they have one.
No, God. I mean, it's the same thing that we're going to talk about here on their defense. We're going to expose a weakness, right? A weakness that's not really a weakness. I mean, it's just the weakest part of a very strong team. So in defense, they're 7th in total defense, IU 5th. Neither one of them allows over 250 yards total. They're 6th in scoring defense, IU 3rd. It's 12 and 10 points respectively. Passing defense, they are 3rd, IU 7th. Neither team allowing over 135 yards per game through the air. And then rushing defense, I guess this is where their weakness, again, you guys were not a visual podcast on this one, at least, 38th against the run. So that's the first, it's similar to their passing rating, I guess, on offense, but 115 yards per game they give up, which isn't a ton. IU 17th at 88 yards per game. That rushing defense is I guess a little mind-boggling considering what they have on the interior of the line. And I'm only naming 2 of them, but I'm pretty sure they have 4 guys that are over 300 pounds at defensive tackle. But the 2 that are going to do most of the work are Amari Washington. He's 6'3", 330 pounds. And a guy that just has an amazing football name, Bear Alexander, also 6'3", 300 pounds. I mean, those are your run stoppers. You got to try to get to the edge, right? But Brandon, who's on the edge? Or Seth? I guess this is more Seth's name.
Yeah, I can't pronounce this.
Matayo Ungulele.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've done better.
DJU's brother.
Yes. And he's a day one. Like, is he the number 1 ranked defensive end?
I don't have his number 1. I think he's top 5 though. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he's a day 1 next year in the draft. He hasn't gotten his numbers. I think it's kind of similar to what we're seeing maybe with Kamara, where they're getting a ton of attention. And so the 4 sacks total on the season against some really, really bad teams at the beginning of the season, similar to Kamara, more than Kamara, honestly. But the guy's a stud. A little bit different. He's more built in that linebacker mold, kind of stand-up defensive end compared to where Kamara is just a monster. Do you want to talk defensive line, Brandon?
Not players, but just when I was doing the research on this, they do not remind me of Ohio State. They don't have quite the. They do sort of have a Notre Dame feel to it, just like a really solid, put together unit. Seth, what do you think about that? Like their guys don't put up huge stats. They don't have, outside of DJU's brother, who I'm not even going to pronounce to say it. Like they don't have the gaudy NFL draft aspirations. They will get drafted, but they're not, Ohio State had 3-4 guys on their defensive line.
Oh yeah,
sure.
They don't have that, but they have that Notre Dame feel up front.
I get where you're coming from that, and I do think that Mateo has definitely a pro day 1, day 2 potential. And I also think Bear Alexander. So Bear Alexander is one of these guys who has a really interesting story coming out of Terrell, Texas, IMG Academy. Huge prospect. Went to Georgia, was on their national championship team that destroyed TCU. Then immediately started as a freshman, true freshman. Not started, but played a lot. Transferred to USC, was there 2 years. Really came on. And then all of a sudden, midway through last year, he was like, I'm redshirting the rest of the season. I don't want to play anymore. It was a really weird story at the time. And of course, he ends up at Oregon, where to point out your statistical point is because they have such depth and they have multiple players who are impacting the game, not one of them is really attributing all of these statistical categories. Where it's like, oh, of course, Mateo's got 12 sacks or Bear's got 23 pressures or anything like that. It really is a team game. But they do have players who are going to be playing in the pros. And I believe that Bear Alexander is one of those guys who has so much potential. It's freakish. He hasn't really lived up to that hype, but it's in there somewhere. And you just hope it's not IU that he unleashes that against.
Yep. Just as far as rushing success, because I think, again, you just got to look at the running backs at Penn State. Katron Allen had some success. Katron Allen ran 12 times for 54 yards. I'll spare you the Seth math. That's 4.5 yards to carry.
I had that one.
They absolutely shut down Nick Singleton, though. 11 runs for 22 yards. I'll let you Seth math that one.
2.
That's 2 yards.
Good job. Good job.
So Allard did have some success. 9 carries for 42 yards. We'll just round up and say 5 yards a carry. So again, I think if we get Mendoza in space, I think if we, let Hemby be the focus back, which I know they're not going to do. They're not going to do it, but I do think there's ways to run on this team, which we'll get to a little bit later.
Yeah. I think part of and again, we're just picking on their worst part of their defense, and it's not that it's still really good. It would be part of that issue, I guess, would be kind of their linebacker play. They're good linebackers. They've got really good linebackers across. The one that's really going to jump out to everybody is going to be Bryce Butcher. He's been there forever. Bocher, is that right?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Butcher would be cool. Just call him the Butcher if it is. Team leader in tackles. The guy's been there since like
3 years starting. 3 years.
Yeah. The guy's a beast. Really good player, kind of their Aiden Fisher, I guess they would say, or you would say. They've got some other guys that'll make some plays on the outside. I'm pretty sure the leader in their team interceptions is a linebacker as well. Forgot his name off the top of my head, but they're not your, how do I say
these
this?
guys are not on the draft board. These guys are not going to be forever players in the NFL. They're not good college players.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what I would have said. Do you want to talk linebackers, Brandon, or do you want to talk about the next
they don't intercept the ball a lot. They only have 5 interceptions. You were right about a linebacker having the most interceptions. It is Jerry Mixon, who's the other starter.
That's right.
He does have 2, but this team is not about intercepting the ball. It's just not what they do. It's not a focus of theirs.
Yeah, and so here's another area that's very similar to IU, and that's their defensive backfield. There's one glaring difference, I guess. I wouldn't say glaring difference. We had a quick argument about this over the weekend about Amari Farrell comparing to the guy we're about to talk about, but they've got really good corners. They're deep. They're anchored by Seth's probably one of the most Purdue talked about players he's ever talked about in our friendship, and Dylan Thieneman. Sorry.
Slippy, slappy
that one up a little bit.
Samsonite.
Who I said that I thought Amari Farrell was pretty similar. Now, granted, they've used it a little bit different, but also Aaron Flowers, the freshman, a really good player too. Talk some Duck secondary, and then we will thankfully take a break.
Yeah. Dylan Thieneman is absolutely everything he's cracked up to be. He will be a late first, early second round draft pick. He's only a junior, so if he wants to stay, he can stay another year.
He won't. There's no reason.
He has no reason to. It's really interesting. So the way Ryan Walters had him playing, he was 20 yards off the ball. He was the freest of free safeties I think I've ever seen in college football. Oregon doesn't run that. They run kind of I would call it like a 4-2-ish 5, maybe. It's kind of an amoeba. It changes based off of context, based off of formation. They're not really this set in stone defense like a lot of defenses are.
A lot of people walk around.
Yeah,
a lot of people walk around,
and
very Steeler. It's very Steelers-esque.
And seeing him play near the line of scrimmage, I'm so jealous.
That's how we got the game-winning interception.
Right. I wish I had gotten to see some of that at Purdue. I just really
50 yards behind the play.
Right. I just really, and he'd made a hell of a lot of plays at Purdue. Don't get me wrong. He had like almost double-digit interception, something like that. Playing that center field free safety. He is absolutely everything he's cracked up to be. And then Aaron Flowers, on the other hand, another one of those freshman studs who they have been raving about and expected him to be a very strong player. And he has also delivered. He's another one of those Texas kids. It's a forced fumble. It's a couple tackles, a pass defensed. But he's 6 foot 208. So a little bit thicker for a corner. Especially as a freshman. He's a guy who's going to be around for a long time. And you'll probably see his name drafted in 2027, 28?
Yeah, in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Brandon,
three levels though. They got players across all three of them.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Same thing. Here's I'll talk about it later. Brandon, do you want to talk secondary?
No, I'm good.
Good deal. Let's take a break. We'll get a quick ad in, and then we will be right back. This episode is brought to you by your go-to expert in the Indiana real estate market. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in a home right here in the heart of the Hoosier country, Garrett Lawton with True Blood Real Estate is the agent that you need. He's not just a real estate agent, he's a Hoosier fan just like you. And Garrett knows Indiana inside and out, from Bloomington to Indianapolis and everywhere in between. Plus, his personalized service makes the buying and selling process smooth and stress-free. So if you're ready to make a move, give Garrett a call at 317-410-8851 or visit his website at lawton-realty.com. And we're back. IU players to watch. This will be interesting. Then we'll do a little bit of around the Big Ten. We'll run through some randos, maybe some sack, do some predictions, and then get out of here. IU players to watch on offense. We'll start with Seth.
Yeah, I have the offensive line, specifically the right side. I think it's so obvious. The Oregon fans are some chirpy bunches. What? Don't give me that face, Bragg. You know it's true.
That's true. No. You just took
okay.
You took my first one.
Yeah, they're a chirpy bunch, and they've called out, and I'm going to answer back to both of these. They've called out the right side of the offensive line. They're like, oh, everyone thinks that they should be worried about Khalil Benson. Maybe he's the worst offensive lineman. Nope, we're actually going to target Lynch. He's the one we're actually going to target. He's a turnstile. He's this, he's that.
And they're going after Coogan, too.
Oh, great. Of course they are.
Shouldn't have been. It wasn't even going to be a starter at Notre Dame. Mendoza makes him look better because he's, the RPO is benefit. They've ripped everyone but Carter Smith.
So it's shut up. It's prove it, or I don't even know. It's time to prove it or lose it or whatever. Lose the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to prove it. So Khalil Benson has played really well when he's had an edge, when he's had an anger, he's had a nastiness to him. The last couple of games, I didn't quite see that. I don't know what it was necessarily. Sorry, just the last game, Iowa. I don't know what it was.
Killing people at Illinois.
Yeah, at Illinois.
Bragg and I, and I think you may have sent a tweet about it. Bragg and I saw it on the field. Like he was finishing plays.
He needed to calm down. He needed to calm down.
Borderline needed to take a break.
Yes.
But I like it. I mean, as opposed
he plays
to
better
Iowa,
when he runs hot.
At Iowa, he was just like he looked lost. Like
he was
had
just
never
there.
played the position
existed.
before.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it started with the very first play of the game when a guy, I keep forgetting his name, Graves. Oh my God, I got it. Just beat Lynch right off the ball immediately. Wasn't even like he was playing. And so I really want them to show up and say, look, we maybe didn't have the best tape last week, 2 weeks ago. We've had 2 weeks now to prepare. We know that I'm going to be lined up against Mateo, and I'm going to be lined up against Bear Alexander all game long. I got to show up. I got to put up. Or at some point, you guys start seeing if there's other options, maybe even. So, I mean, not really, but, you got to start thinking about those things. So right side of the offensive line, if you want to include Coogan in there as well, you guys got to be the difference and extending drives, establishing the run game, keeping Fernando upright in the pocket so he's able to dissect the field. All of that starts with making sure that the offensive line is doing their job, not doing more than they're expected to do, but just doing their job.
Yep. So that was my number one as well, but I think my number two makes a ton of sense here, and it's Hemby. So obviously, my professional team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, have had pass rushers for the end of time, right? But how do you beat pass rushers? There's two ways. One, run the ball right at them. Bragg has hit on their not so weakness is their linebackers. Mm-hmm. You send Hemby on off tackle. You send it right off Bray Lynch's butt, because what the pass rushers want to do is blow right by those guys. They want to blow right past them. So what you do is it's a quick give. It's none of these long draws or tosses. It's a direct handoff. Hit that gap right away. Those guys are already 2 to 3 yards in the backfield. They're not tackling anyone. So my player to watch is Hemby and where they run him, right? And I think you have to run right at Mateo and Bear. And my other reason it's Hemby is you gotta possess the ball. You have to move the sticks. You have to average 4 to 5 yards a carry. Hemby is gonna need to have his. Everyone's saying this is Mendoza planting his flag. It very much is. But this game is almost, for me, more about Hemby, of what he can do with keeping the offense on schedule and keeping the ball. Why I think we lost Ohio State was because we were constantly in 2nd and 8, 3rd and 7. We were never on script. If you want to stay on script, Hemby's got to have a Katron Allen, right? 4.5, 4.7 yards a carry. I think he just absolutely has to have it. So I will be watching where Hemby is running and how he is running, because again, I think that's so absolutely vital to winning this game.
I want to pick up on something you said really quickly, and that's time of possession. I think that's super important for Indiana to dominate the time of possession, because Oregon will give you the opportunity to possess the ball as much as possible. They have a quick strike offense. When you said three plays, 75 yards, 49-second drives, they want those. They will give you the ball right back because they didn't know they just got 7 points on the board. So if you can elongate those drives and turn those 3-play 75-yard drives into 3-play 9-yard drives, or 6-play 19-yard drives, that's a world of difference. So dominate that possession battle.
Yeah, so I need to just delete that one off. So that leaves me with Nando, which was the easiest one to pick. Yeah, this is where big time quarterbacks put on their big boy pants and go play big boy football. And that's what he's going to have to do on Saturday. I think, and I hate to say it, I think he's going to see a lot of pressure throughout the game, not constantly, but I think he's going to see something similar to what he saw against Iowa. And I think that he needs to make the plays, and he did it at Iowa. Now, granted, we're facing a little bit of a different animal. I would say similar-ish as far as where they get their pressure from, but just a maybe even a more athletic version of that. It's pretty plain, cut and simple, dry. Like, I had offensive line, I had running game, and I had Nando. Nando was just in there in case you guys took those other two. So, yeah, everybody knows he needs to step up. He needs to do his thing.
We'll let you go first on defense. So,
we don't need to do that. Mine's easy on defense.
Two things. First on Nando. He did not do well against the blitz when Iowa sent send it, except for the game-winning touchdown pass, of course, which was a all-out blitz followed by a quick slant, which he put an absolute dart on.
Mhm.
But again, I've read all the Oregon fans. All we have to do is blitz. All we have to do is blitz. The offensive
Blitz,
line does.
please.
The offensive
Please,
line
please.
doesn't make adjustments. Man, as much as I know Signetti, as much as I know Nando, they will be prepared for the blitz.
Oh, yeah.
I would actually be surprised if we see a completely different wrinkle from Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning is an incredible coach. He's an incredible defensive coach. So, you know, where Seth said, oh, the blueprint is out of how to beat Penn State, I would be very shocked if Dan Lanning and company said, oh, we're just going to blitz 70%. I'd be very shocked if we see that. We might see 40%, 50%, but I'd be very, very shocked if they blitzed the way Iowa did. Iowa did it because they knew it was their only way. They had to send an engage 8 every play if they wanted any chance of stopping it. And it worked. It was very smart to do. They had one of the best defensive coordinators, but I'd be shocked. Now, I don't know, Bragg, I'm surprised you didn't say this because you always listen to the press conference. Maybe it was just all of us were working a little slow.
No, I listened to it today.
Not so working so slow.
Yeah.
On Monday.
Like you.
Did you hear what Signetti said about the play calling? Which I don't know why you would ever
the
say.
defensive play calling or the offensive play calling?
No. So what he said is year one at James Madison, they would call audibles.
Oh, yes, the audibles.
Ever since year one, Signetti and Shanahan have never called audibles for 2 reasons. It's the communication is often missed, and in their offense, there's already too much going on. There's already multiple plays in the RPO that it's up to the quarterback to make the decision post snap. He doesn't want his quarterback thinking of things pre snap. Again, I don't know why you would go ahead and give that away, but because you and I remember screaming it at the Ohio State, change the play. Why isn't Rourke changing out of that? That Ohio State linebacker is clearly blitzing. Why aren't they changing out of the play? So I want Indiana fans that are listening to understand, guys are not going to change out of the play. It's up to Nando to say, okay, that linebacker's coming there. I have a hot route pass that I got to pass out of that. Or, okay, I don't give it to Hemby right up the middle. I have to keep it and take it off tackle. Right. So I thought I love that stuff. I geek out on this kind of stuff. This stuff is why I love football so much. But I did find it interesting that Signetti pretty much came out and said, like, we're not audibling. Like, this is on Mendoza. Mendoza knows the plays. He can either make the right read or I'm going to scream at him on the sideline is how I interpreted that.
So I interpreted it different because I have this like thing with Sig where I think he's playing games is what I think he's doing. And then the other thing that he said was
interesting. You think he's playing chess?
Yes. And the other thing
I'd love to hear Seth's point on this because I didn't think that at all.
He also said something along the lines of sometimes we will send them out there with another play. And so that's why I thought, oh, I think he's just effing around. I think that they do audible if the original play call, if they've got enough time, the play clock, but if the original play call looks ridiculous against whatever Oregon or whoever it is changes. Now, we haven't seen it a lot, but I kind of agreed with some of the things he said, but I also think it's just Sig being Sig.
What do you think, Seth?
I will say I have watched every game but the ISU game, and I cannot recall a single time where I saw them clearly audible at the line of scrimmage.
Not Notre Dame, not Ohio
a single
State.
time.
Yeah,
not talking about last year. I'm talking specifically about this year.
I
haven't seen it once.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Not to say they can't, not to say they won't, not to say that's not a wrinkle they'll bring in mid-season. I'm just saying, as of now, I haven't recalled a time.
No, if he doesn't bring it in, if he hasn't already brought it in, he's not bringing it in. But I don't know. He's a crazy son of a gun. All right, we're going to defense. Speaking of crazy son of a guns, sons of a gun. You guys, you already know who I'm going to take. I've taken him all season. I think that, what did I say about Nando? It's big time. Big boys wear big boy pants in big boy games. And who's the big boy on defense? And that's Aiden. I think Aiden is going to be massive in this game. You want to talk about 10 yards of carry, 6 yards of carry, maintaining and containing Dante Moore. That's all on him. I mean, that is what he's built for. That is what he does. I think he has a monster game, and he's going to have to. I think I'm going to say it right now. I can see it happening. I think he has a turnover. I think he gets a turnover. I can see it.
You've been calling for the interception.
He's going to get a turnover.
Calling for it. For me, sorry, Seth, I got to jump you on this one because I think I know exactly where you're going.
I'm going to go there anyways, even if you do. So go for it.
So I'm going defensive line.
Oh
no, I'm going defensive line.
I love this for me,
specifically Landino. Again, so we're talking about plant your flag. I don't feel like anyone nationally is talking about him. You watch any of these national shows, and it's Aiden this and Pons that and Kamara this.
Tucker gets a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Landino. This is I know these guys are graduating. Okay. I'm the guy next year. I'm the guy. I will be a junior. I will take the reins. I am here. I've seen the stats on Twitter. You've seen the stats on Twitter. Oregon's offensive line is 27 point whatever heavier than the average Indiana defensive line. We are going to run right down their throats. Landino, I want to see you do your Thor hammer slam when you take one of their wide receivers or one of their running backs and absolutely pancake them. I am absolutely betting Landino over 0.5 sacks. Landino, you are my boy. You are part of the family. You are a Pennsylvania kid. Let's go.
Seth, I already said yours, but go ahead.
It's D'Angelo Pons. This is the other guy that the Oregon fandom has, for some unforsaken reason, decided he's too small. He's hurt. He's coming off an injury. He hasn't really played any receivers who are talented, and the ones who do, for some reason, just haven't even tested him.
Even though Beatty just gave up.
They just haven't even tested him though. So it's like, oh, how good is he? Hasn't been tested. I think that's absolutely horse crap. How
those Ohio State wide receivers do?
Not as good as they had in other games.
I actually saw an Ohio State fan said that.
So
he said our wide receivers struggled the most against Indiana last year. Was an Ohio State fan's comment on that exact thread that you're talking about.
So let me tie a couple of things together here. It's they have a great wide receiver one, so it'll be his toughest cover competition that he's had all season. Obviously outside of Jeremiah Smith, maybe in the last 2 years. One of the things I listened to Coach Sig's press conference, and one of the things he talked about defensively that I definitely listened to was they felt like they were forced to play zone. And when we watched, I can't remember who they played against 2 years ago. It was Raiola. He acted like he had never played zone before. They chose to play zone, and he freaked out, shit his pants, had no idea what to do.
I think they play man.
So which one would you rather do? Would you rather play zone out of necessity or out of kind of pure joy and chaos? When he played out of, and with him being out, Sig said they were forced to play a lot of zone. They didn't want to match up. And so we kept seeing those zone beaters, and we're like, somebody stop the over the ball curl. Somebody's like every single time. And when we saw that they played against Altmaier, who again was one of these guys who we thought had a little bit more athleticism, had some legs, had some mobility, and what we saw is they really kind of bully balled with.
They shrank the field.
Yes, and they put Fisher and Hardy, not Hardy, sorry, the other
Jones,
and they just kind of had them hang out in the middle of the field. It seemed like maybe one guy was spying, one guy was kind of playing a robber zone, maybe. And they really, I mean, he couldn't run, he couldn't pass. And, the little bit of zone that they were mixing in with those two guys, with everybody else playing man, really created some difficult reads for Altmaier. And he was shook. I remember I told the story earlier, very first time he's run out of bounds, he just chucks the ball. You can tell he's pissed.
He would have quit with Beatty if the
if
quarterback was allowed to quit. Yes.
So what he does is he allows them to play more matchup man, allows them to mix the zone in when they want to, allows them to put a little bit more zone blitz concepts into place so that Isaiah Bones-Jones can be a much more effective blitzer. And they still have somebody dropping off the edge now to kind of take up that slack. It really gives Haynes so many different more options and the ability to match what they are doing and react to it rather than constantly being like, oh my God, like there's a sieve going. We got to stop this guy. And then all of a sudden it opens up another guy. They have the ability now with their full complement of defensive backs, with the full complement of, the defense is very much healthy at this point, to go out there and see the wrinkles that we've kind of been like, okay, these are the pro guys. They should be able to do a little bit different today. They should be able to do things a little bit different, or not even different, just step up their game just a little bit more. And so Pons is that guy who I think is going to be a really integral part of helping the pass rush improve because the coverage downfield is better, and really allowing those linebackers to control the middle of the field and limit Sadiq, trying to hit those seam routes, and Dante Moore, who hasn't done a ton of running, but definitely has the ability to do so, to kind of discourage him and keep him to a pocket passer, which then allows Landino, Kamara, Tucker, Daly, West, all of those guys to feast. So that's where I think Pons is going to have a huge impact coming back from injury. Hopefully that he's healthy. Hopefully he's at that 90, 95, 100% level that he can go out there and he can affect the game in a positive way.
Before we get into one more thing, I want to say one more thing about a coach press conference, because this had to be bullshit, or just Ryan Day is the dumbest person imaginable. People asked, how did you prep for Illinois? And he said, well, I threw away the Indiana film. And that's the dumbest thing you can do, because I think Indiana, I hope Dan Lanning did the same thing. I hope, because I think the defense Indiana played against Illinois, right, which was shrink the field, play physical, play man. I think we see that defense. I don't think we see a dang thing we did against Iowa. And, other than that, you can throw the rest of the tape away because it was all basically preseason games. So Ryan Day is so dumb saying, well, I threw away the Indiana tape, because I think you see that defense, not the Iowa defense at all, because of what you just said. Everything had to shift because Pons Island was gone. So again, I just wanted to make one, I wanted to clown on Ryan Day, and two, I wanted to, again, I feel like I'm a little bit repeating myself, but saying I do think we see man, I think we see physical play, and that's exactly how we got Hank Beatty to go, oh, I'm out. That's exactly how we got Luke Altmaier to throw a tantrum on the sidelines. That's how we got Brett Bielema to pretty much collapse over.
The two hands on either knee.
So, anyway, again, I think that is how Indiana wins, is you go to the West Coast and you play Midwest football. I think that's something you have to do.
Don't change your identity now.
Nope.
All right. Looking at the time. Okay. Let's run through this. There's a lot. It's around the Big Ten time. We're going to give you bad betting advice real quick. There's a lot of green on mine. I think that these are easy games to pick for the most part, outside of maybe one or two.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have a lot of parlays built out of this that will just won't.
Yes. Friday, Rutgers travels to Washington. Washington minus 10.5. I got the spread. I'm sorry, not a lot of green. A lot of blue.
This is a tease up to 13.5. Washington wins by 2 scores.
I love that.
Big noon kickoff. They had to take, the scraps, right? They get number one going to, I don't even write down what Illinois is ranked, but
17,
number one,
17, I think.
Ohio State traveling to the Madhouse in Champaign, the number 17 ranked Illinois. Ohio State favorite by 2 touchdowns, 14.5. I've got them winning by at least 3.
Yeah, I would tease this up to 16.5 Ohio State.
I had written in 17.5.
UCLA, real or fake? They travel to Michigan State, I believe, for a noon game. Michigan State -8.5. That's fat, but give it to me. Give me a Spartans -8.5.
This is my only don't touch. I'm taking the over. I think both defenses are trash. I think both coaches are trash. I give me the over in this game. But spread, I'm not touching it because I don't know what these teams are. I have no idea what these teams are.
Spartan message boards have finally caught on to what the rest of us have been saying for a year and a half now.
Chili's.
Him and Marsh and their other receiver are the only bright spots on that team. They cannot stand Jonathan Smith any longer. His lack of personality, his lack of identity. They are absolutely sick of it. I would take MSU money line. I don't trust a single point.
Yeah.
Which, it's might as well just lose money.
This is, I put a little funny note underneath this game. Big game. Northwestern goes to Penn State. Can Big Game James pull this one off when he's favored by 21.5? I say yes. I think they cover it.
No, Penn State has not covered a game this year.
Oh, they're going to cover this
one. The hook is scary. We just talked about how Northwestern covered against Oregon. Give me Northwestern plus 21.5. I can see this being a 17 to 21 point game, or even the hook. This hook is huge.
27-7 all day long.
Oh my God. Oh, I'd throw things. I would throw things. This is probably the tightest one on the schedule for me, at least.
Yes.
Nebraska -6.5, who I believe in, at my non-believe in team, Maryland. I got Nebraska just money line because I don't know how they travel.
The juice is Maryland money line.
That is the juice.
Good.
So Washington, Brad, do you think Washington is better or Nebraska?
Washington
just won by 4. So that in that logic, you take Maryland plus 6.5.
No. I can't trust Maryland plus 6. I can't trust it. I almost took spread on Nebraska.
They just covered against Washington.
I understand, but
Washington is better than Nebraska.
Huge comeback against them.
Washington is better than Nebraska.
But they started very poor. It was a new game, right?
How are you not going to take more points for Maryland?
Okay, anyway, how about this? Give me the spread. Give me Nebraska by 10.
Jesus.
That's what I think.
Gross.
Here's another one. Take the spread, take the under, which is, well, maybe not. Maybe take the over.
35.5.
Iowa -3.5 at Wisconsin. Don't watch this game.
This is the worst watch of the week.
Maybe the last game. The last game is going to be pretty fun too.
No, that'll be interesting.
Might be fun.
It's like watching two fat kids fight.
This one or the last one?
The last one.
Okay.
This is also a tease. You take Iowa -6.5.
Yep.
Yeah. I think you have to take 17-10.
The over. 17-10.
Oh, I was going to say I think you have to take the over. 17-10 sounds good though. This one I don't agree with. Everybody knows I hate USC. I think they're not a very good team, and I've proven to be right so far this season. Number 15, Michigan, 2.5 point dogs going to USC. I got Michigan covering that.
I refuse to touch it. Not
so USC barely beat Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan is better than Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's East Coast team going out west. For the juice, give me Michigan money line, but I will mostly not be touching this game in any parlay. It will. If I bet Michigan money line, it's because I've been losing money all day and I need a plus money play.
See, this is where my mouth gets me in trouble because that is one that I would bet. So I could say, I told you so. Like, I told you USC is trash. They're not a good team. They're not coached by a good coach. I'm sorry. They're good players. Their coach is bad. Lincoln Riley is a joke.
Yes.
He's Purdue. Here's fat kid versus fat kid. Purdue at Minnesota. Minnesota, I guess, getting 7.5. Cool. Minnesota money line. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
this would be the one I don't bet. I think
I hate the hook on this. I hate the hook. I think Minnesota wins by a touchdown. If anything, I'm buying this down. You've heard me buy up a lot. I've bought up 4 games. You got to buy some down. This line is 6.5. I like that a lot better. 7.5 though is a don't touch. I will be buying this down. Minnesota minus 6.5.
Purdue's playing better. There's an identity there.
It's a road game, man.
This is one of the games I circled as a potential game where they might pull it off. I just don't see them being. I don't think they have the confidence to put it all together yet. I think this is one of the building blocks that gets them closer to a win, but not quite there. I think there's a late collapse.
Clappy Clappy wins by 7 and he acts like he won a Super Bowl.
Yep. And talk about this is the toughest team I've had. They have a grit that I've never seen.
This is a real grit win. This is a locker room win. This is a culture win.
Run off.
This is the first time we've really rode together this season.
Yeah, and you won by 7. Congratulations.
Good job.
Against the 2-5 team.
I have a million randos. I'm gonna keep it to like 3, and it's all just a shit on Oregon. You guys ready?
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, go.
Dan
and this is going to be quick. This is going to be super quick. Will Oregon ever win a national championship?
No.
What is
they got they got their best shot against Jameis and they got whooped on.
So there we go. Oregon, you'll never win a national championship. Better state, Washington or Oregon?
Oregon.
Washington all day.
Washington
all day. What is Joey Harrington doing right now?
Smoking cigarettes.
High school coach.
Everyone wants to give Utah as having the biggest cult. Do you guys know about Bhagwan Sheree?
Yep.
I do
so
not.
Pretty much
Rajneeshi. Yep.
They let a cult almost take over the entire state in like modern times.
The documentary on Netflix is called Wild Country.
It's one of the best documentaries out there. It's an absolutely wild story if you don't know. Like the Mormons took over Utah like 200 years ago. Oregon almost got taken over like 30 years ago, maybe longer than that, maybe 40 years ago. But
by
like
a sex cult.
By a sex cult. That's how soft your state is. That's how soft your people are. I don't like you. I don't like you online. I don't think I'd like you in real life. I want nothing to do with Portland. I want nothing to do with Oregon. And I now hate ducks. And I'll stop.
Our streaming platform has got a duck in the top right corner of the screen.
On July 31st, 2011, Harrington was struck by an SUV while riding his bicycle in Portland, Oregon. Harrington suffered a broken collarbone, a punctured lung, and a fracture to his
he's okay.
first 2 ribs
he
below
didn't
his
die.
collarbone.
I would have felt real bad.
He also got 6 staples in his head behind his right ear due to the accident. And as a result, can no longer smoke cigarettes.
So he's not smoking cigarettes.
No.
Was he a smoker?
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I know. That last part was just for my own amusement.
What is he doing?
I have no idea.
He's slinging insurance.
Dude, I thought for sure I could see him being a high school.
He lives
coach.
in Portland. He co-owned the Pearl Tavern, closed in 2018.
It's shocking.
Whereabouts unknown. Let's just say that.
There you go. Well, you got anything in your sack? Or did you waste it all on your dinner with your in-laws?
That was actually your perfect lead into my question. What is the earliest and latest you can start a birthday window or close a birthday window? Now, the infamous one is these crazy ladies out here who do the birthday month thing. That's just absurd.
They're right. It's 2 weeks before. It's
way too big. It's way too
weeks before.
What is the appropriate window before and then after to allow the celebration of a birthday?
On the birthday through the weekend that follows. Unless your birthday's on like a Monday. Then it's just like you get like.
Then it's like Lincoln. It's like
I love birthdays. I love celebrating things. I feel like we celebrated you really well, Seth. Telling me you couldn't do that for a month, maybe not like the
I could do it forever. I could do it forever.
But yeah, I'm okay with the month thing. I'm absolutely okay.
We have to figure out the sound system downstairs, but other than that, we could do it forever.
Joey Harrington works for the Harrington Family Foundation as co-founder of Triumph NIL. He also works as a college football analyst for Fox College Football.
Oh, I knew I saw him on there. Okay.
He's
That was the
also
other thing I was gonna
invested in
do.
the Portland Thorns Football Club.
Yeah, the big time. What else you got?
If I'm wrong, blame AI, not me.
Yeah.
Let's get on. Let's finish this strong.
Oh, we're done. Okay, predictions. Here comes the fun part. Everybody's gonna pick us to lose.
Mhm.
Seth, what do you have?
31-17 Oregon.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus. That's too fat.
What was that? What was
Hey, it's
31-17? So that's 48.
31-17. Yep.
You're going 7.5 points under the over/under.
Yeah.
What's your rationale there?
You
fucking
know,
genius?
You didn't hear it all weekend. Everybody thinks we're gonna get killed. Nobody that was there
No.
thought IU stands a chance.
I think this specific road test is very daunting. And I even admitted that
we're
I
not
told you
daunted.
I've swayed on the Penn State game. I now put IU as a favorite in that game. So I have moved you from
Wow, really
10-2 to
freaking
11-1.
Really
And
going
I'm
on a limb
still
there,
saying
pal.
that this is the one loss. I just think that the home field advantage, I think Dan Lanning is probably the one coach that is on Signetti's level, or
He's
above.
on something.
Well, that too.
For sure.
So I just think that it's kind of a perfect storm. And I don't think it's for lack of talent. I don't think it's for lack of, I think on a neutral field, it's a lot closer a game. I just think the home field advantage and kind of the favorite factor just kind of goes the way of the Ducks.
All right. So here, I'm going to paint the scene.
Paint it.
Oregon is down. 20-14 going into the fourth quarter. They go up, score 21-20, right? IU does a 3-and-out. Bragg and I absolutely lose it, probably take a fireball shot. Oregon goes down and scores again. 28-20 with 3 minutes left to go. Mendoza absolutely puts on a drive of his life. Multiple third down conversions, maybe even a fourth down conversion. Elijah Schratt runs one of his vintage out routes. Touchdown. Indiana, sub 30 seconds to go. They have to go for two. They go for two. And instead of running that exact play again, I'm yelling in Bragg's base, run it again. Run the same exact play. Instead, they try running a slant to Debo Cooper, and DJU's brother swats it down. Oregon wins 28-26. Oregon rushes the field, and everyone is talking about how the favored team cannot rush the field in that situation.
No. When IU loses, it's never the other team, anything negative about the other team. It's always what IU screwed up. That's a great scenario, and I would be okay with that. I'd also be okay with this. I didn't come up with some sort of dream scenario, but I think it's going to be a last second something or a last drive.
Their kicker's also
something.
Amazing, by the way.
Well, there you go. Oregon wins
Atticus.
27-24.
Yeah, their kicker is 12 for 15.
Okay.
He's
Bars
0 for 2.
missed.
He's 0 for 2 from 50 yards, and the 40-yarder he missed was a 49-yarder. So pretty much from 48 in, the dude don't miss.
I'm pretty sure Nick is 12. I saw this earlier. I think he's 12
I do not
for
know where
12,
Radish is.
32 for 32 from the.
So you have a 3-point loss. I have a 2-point loss. Seth has a
14.
So it's going to be tight to figure out who's going to win that puppy. Nick is 32 for 30. So he's only kicked 5 field goals because we score touchdowns.
Their kicker is Atticus Sappington.
With a long of 46.
That's so Oregon.
Atticus Sappington?
Yeah, that's what I said, brother.
Yes. It's very Oregon, or also very like South England.
Sure.
Okay, that's it. I don't have any final statement. I do think that a lot of the hate, a lot of the doubt, a lot of the, I guess I do have one, a lot of the like negativity, a lot of the stressing, anxiety about how bad this is going to be, can kind of chill. I mean, if we didn't make you feel a little bit better, at least going through the rankings and talking about how comparative these teams are, like, sorry, we don't have super flashy uniforms. Like, that's the only difference. Honestly, on paper, you sit down and you go, good wide receivers, good wide receivers, good running backs, good running backs, good offensive line, okay offensive line, great quarterback, right? Like, it's really good defense, really good defense. Like, it's the same thing. And it's not like they've run through a powerhouse of teams to set this up. We haven't either, but we beat a Big Ten team by 50 points.
Iowa is better
That's
than
pretty
anyone
cool.
they've played. Iowa is better than Penn State.
Oh, yeah, I do think Penn State loses. I think Penn State's about to lose 3 straight.
To Northwestern?
After Northwestern. I think they go, or at least some part in their schedule, they go Iowa, Ohio State. They're at Iowa, at Ohio State, Indiana at home.
So I got one more Brando Rando, and it only is because it ties into my final statement. Percentage of fans. What is a higher percentage of fans that went there versus overall fans? Florida or Oregon?
Oregon, just because I know somebody that lives here that's an Oregon fan that went to Oregon. That's the only reason I say that.
I think
it's
because of Nike and
thing.
the jerseys, I think both of them are complete bandwagon fans, but I think there's a higher percentage of Florida fans that went there than Oregon fans that went there.
Okay.
I disagree. I have never met a Florida alum. Never.
Like
I
a
haven't either.
50,000 person student at school. It's huge.
Yeah, and where do they
That's
all
big.
go? Where do they all go? But
Too
I've seen
small.
so many Wawa Florida fans who buy their little T-shirts from Wawa or from whatever store they got down there, and
Publix.
yeah, Publix,
Yeah,
Winn
Publix,
Dixie.
bro.
So I'm not.
Get a
I mean,
chicken tender sub.
Anyway, your guys'
Florida's
answer,
just sad all the way around.
your answers don't support my final statement.
I
But what I was going to
apologize about
say
that.
is their fans they seem awful. Online, they are terrible. Oregon tries to be Ohio State, but with absolutely none of the accomplishments. Oregon has done nothing. You will win nothing. Congratulations to always being a bridesmaid. I can't wait for Saturday.
Oh my God. I want to apologize just for one thing that he said to any Oregon fans that do listen to this. Ohio State fans are the scum of the earth. So
Yeah.
you guys are not that bad. You guys are getting there based on what I've seen on social media, but you're not that bad. You don't smell it. Well,
Oregon, they don't even shower.
I was going to say they might smell.
Oh my goodness!
They
But
don't
in a
even
different
they
smell.
shower with
Damn
this
hippies.
hemp infused.
Yeah, that's great.
That's just anyway.
Oh, that's cute.
There are
Right.
friends. They're Trader Joe's enthusiasts though, like me. So we can be friends on that. Yeah, that's it. Be sure to check out the pod, Twitter, Instagram, blah, 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 blah. I did
Do
read
it.
something the other day that ratings, especially 5-star ratings, do make the podcast a lot easier to find. If you want to give us a 1-star rating, email Seth or just send it in the Twitter.
Yeah, that's how you submit
messages.
1 stars is emails directly to me, and I make sure that 1 star gets attributed
Exactly.
appropriately.
Any actual 1 stars in the reviews will get flagged and they'll get taken off. I'm just kidding. Some psycho from Ole Miss still has one on there from 5 years ago. Yeah, that's it. I'm done talking. See ya. Bye. Cheers.
Cheers.
Go chew bark. Cheers.
Meet Keith, loving dad, board game champ, bus driving pro.
I drive 65,000 miles in my bus each year. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. Like how there are some things I simply can't see. On my route the other day, a car tried to sneak past me and ends up right in my blind spot. I turned slowly, so accident avoided. But no car should be in the blind spot for a 40,000-pound bus. It's our roads. It's our safety.
Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.